What's up, guys? My name is Zack, and today I am driving a 2009 Dodge Journey SE. Up front is a 2.4-liter inline-4, and down below is a 4-speed automatic transmission. Now, I'm super excited to be driving this Dodge Journey for one reason. This is a very base spec. I think it gives a very good look into the Chrysler Corporation during the Recession era, and I've only ever driven one other Journey. It was a GT from, I think, like 2017-ish, which I'll link at the end of this video, but I don't have a whole lot of Journey knowledge, and I'm looking to expand that here today. But if you'd like to submit your own vehicle, you can head on over to my website, zackpradel.com/submit. It's a quick and easy submission form. It takes under a minute to fill out, and I come out to you. But let's get back to that 2.4-liter inline-4 under the hood. Well, as an engine here in the Journey, it's nothing special. It's not anything crazy or unique. It doesn't make crazy horsepower. It makes 173 horsepower, which isn't a whole lot. It's not too little, it's fine. The interesting part about the engine is that this was known as the World Engine from Chrysler. The reason it was called that was because it was actually part of the GEMA engine family, which stands for Global Engine Manufacturing Alliance, which was between Chrysler, Mitsubishi, and Hyundai. So basically, these three companies combine their resources to build engines together. This is shared heavily with like the Mitsubishi Lancer engines and the Theta engines from Hyundai. Now, there were differences between the different companies of how the engines were finalized, but think of it as they all came out of the same deli with the same cuts of meat and the same bread, but were just organized a little bit differently. Some engines got a little bit of salt and vinegar, other engines got cheese. That sort of thing. The heads were mostly different, but the blocks were usually the same. Like I said, paired to it is an automatic transmission. It's a 4-speed. It's fine. It's doing the job. I don't have much faith in it for longevity, but it's here today on this crisp, cold March morning, so I can't knock it too hard. Last but not least, this particular Journey is front-wheel drive. However, upper trims did allow for all-wheel drive if that's something that you wanted. How does it feel to drive the Dodge Journey? It's fine. Some positive attributes are the good visibility out the front and not bad visibility at the back. I would say upper class for this classification of car. Steering is a little stiff, but not bad. The ride is garbage, and overall it's just lackluster. Now, the SE is the base model for 2009, and so to be expected, I wasn't expecting a sports car experience or luxury experience, but an experience would have been nice. With that stuff out of the way, let's talk about the interior. Well, in front of me, I have very interesting gauges. Off to the left, I have my coolant temperature and fuel. In the center is the speedometer, and off to the right is the tachometer. This does not look very Dodge at all, and these gauges don't look like they were designed to fit within the gauge bezel. They just look kind of copied and pasted from other vehicles. The steering wheel has no forward-facing button. You want cruise control? Go f yourself. Off to the left, climate vent. That's it. On the door, we have the latch to get in and out, power mirrors, power windows, and power locks. Moving into the center, we do get cubby on the dash, presumably for your CD collection. 2 climate vents, the hazard switch and traction button, climate controls, fan speed off to the left, temperature in the center, and where to send it off to the right. And our radio, we do get a CD player as well as aux, kind of an emerging feature there for 2009, but otherwise a very plain Jane radio. Down below, we have 2 power outlets, 12-volt outlets. One works off the key, so only when the vehicle is on, and the other one works off the battery, so it'll work all the time. Some cubby space and cup holders. We'll do a big friggin' bottle test, but as you probably assumed, it fails because this car is kind of a fail overall. Moving up to the shifter, it's kind of at a weird and interesting angle. It's like sloping forward, which is kind of unique, but it is a very traditional jigsaw style shifter from Dodge. Nothing really crazy. Then I do get a little cubby and the center console with some coin holders in it, but nothing really unique beyond that. And the seats, here they are. They are cloth type material, very, very basic. And according to the owner, they only did this interior style for the base model and for 2009. So he wanted to add a 3rd row into the very back, but finding matching seats just didn't exist, and so he didn't want to mismatch anything. But speaking of seats, we still do have a 2nd row, so let's go do a back seat review. Oh. All right. So we're in the back of the 09 Journey. These seats, I think, were chiseled out of marble. Jeez Louise. They're not comfortable. These are bad seats. But two cool things back. Well, first of all, I fit back here. Knee room good, headroom good. I'm 5'11", not a small guy. I fit comfortably back here. Is my back and spine being curled up into a ball? Yes, because these seats suck, but spatially, I fit. So bring a butt protector or something like that. Is that the right word? Butt protector? Cushion. Bring your own cushion. Two things that are really cool back here though, however, I do have a 12-volt outlet that works off the battery, so this will work with the cars on or off, which could also be detrimental because if your kids leave stuff plugged in back here, it is going to drain your battery. So something to note. The other thing is that in the floor, I actually have some storage cubbies. So really, really cool design here in the Journey. Again, families in mind, and this is like a weird feature that they added that seemingly probably cost them more money when the rest of the car was so Spartan. Kind of an interesting look here, but very cool that they added that. Otherwise, here it is. Let's take a look at the trunk. All right, around the back of the Journey, handle right here. Pull it up like that. And here is the rear storage. Now, like I said, some of these were offered with 3 rows. The base model was not at the time. We have yet another power outlet that only works when the vehicle is on. Love to see that. A deep cubby over here, nothing over there. Pull this up and we do get some more storage. And then we can pull this up and there's little toolkits. So kind of an Inception trunk, storage within storage, which is pretty cool to see. Overall, very bland and basic, but that is the rear trunk space. And I missed it in the back seat. You do get a fold-down center console with cup holders, as you can see right there. So pretty cool, but doesn't change my opinion on the back. Now we got to talk about the looks, and it's a Dodge Journey for sure. This one, I harp on it too much, but this is a base model, and so you have to expect it to be a little bit more lackluster than the other models above it. I've never loved the look of this. I don't have any strong nostalgia with it, and so at the end of the day, I just don't really love the overall look and feel of the Dodge Journey. With all of this being said, let's get on to my final thoughts. What do I think driving a base model Journey from 2009? I can't hate on this vehicle because of its basic features. That's what a base model quite literally is. I don't dislike this car, but I also don't love it. I'm just saying I'm very neutral with it. Here's the reason I wanted to make this video. In the mid-2000s, Dodge gave up on their Neon, which was a very well-selling, economical car. I loved the Neon. They were fun to drive. Here's a 2005 you're seeing on screen now. It was a lovely little car. It was cheap. It had crank windows, even in the mid-2000s. But it was good. They got rid of that a couple years before this. And so there wasn't really a solid economy car coming out of Chrysler. And one can argue that there isn't one even here today, but that's a whole nother video. My point being, the Dodge Neon was cheap. And besides the crank windows, it didn't feel like you were being punished for being poor. I made this comment on my 94 Cavalier video a little while ago, but it reigns true here. This, with all of the dull, drab colors in here, with all of the blocked off panels, with the mismatched gauges, with the lame looks, this feels like I'm being punished for not being able to afford the nicer model. This car reminds me every waking second that I am not the best. Like an overbearing father. This car is mad at me because I didn't make varsity. This car doesn't take me on fishing trips because I'm more of the artist type. And this is just a snapshot of what the Dodge company was putting out mid-recession. When this car was built, the stock market and housing market was crashing, and it put us into one of the biggest recessions of recent times. My childhood was defined by this era. My dad lost his job during this era. It was tough. And that's all reflected in this car. You could see the places where they stripped away what was previously available. This is the grim reality that was 2008. I know it's a 2009 model year, but built in 2008. This car gets looked back on like a crumpled N95 mask in your hoodie pocket. It's funny nowadays seeing a mask and COVID signs and social distancing stickers on the floors of shopping malls, because those are relics of a bygone era of a dark time in this country. Well, it's exactly what this car is. This is a monument to all of our sins. And boy, does it feel like it behind the wheel? I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Huge thank you to Carl for letting me take out his Dodge Journey. I was excited to get behind the wheel. It was very exciting for me to sort of dig through this car and figure out what was going on back in the day. Carl's been absolutely wonderful. We've worked together and I've filmed so many of his cars in the past. I've lost track at what that number might be, but he's always swell. He always has something for me to drive, and I appreciate that very, very much. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.